Hello and welcome to What's Up Punk. We're taking a look at the myriad subgenres underneath the umbrella of punk. Today we'll be taking a look at crust punk. Time to get friggin' metal.
Okay. Don't say a word. Just keep walking, real casual, okay? Let's do this.
What is crust punk? I mean, other than Ancro Peace Punk, but way more metal and faster? Yes, it's on the list. Yes, I use both names, because Peace Punk is a better name for the movement. And yes, I know there's another Peace Punk that's spilled out of Solar Punk. This series is just never going to be done. Anyway, so you're a gutter punk. You have the look. You live off the grid, probably in an abandoned squat, or maybe a fancy McMansion because no one was living there. And while they'll drop a small GDP to buy it, it's protected by a $7 lock. Not kidding. Look it up. Also, you're really hot for some reason. Explain that shit to me. So while you're sticking it to the HOAs of the world, living free, question is, what are you listening to? Now, you don't need to be unhoused to be a crust punk. You just really need to like D beats. And as always,
attention! Attention! Attention!
Attention, buttholes!
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you.
that clip is making it into the rotation. Born from the gritty streets of 1980s England, crust punk became a voice for political dissonance and social change, using its harsh, unrefined sound to challenge mainstream culture and promote a DIY, anti-consumerist lifestyle, being heavier sounding than traditional punk and faster than metal. In England, under Thatcher's government, was a time rife with social unrest, marking the birth of crust punk, or simply, crust. Technology. D-beats. Low-tune guitars. Rough mixing, so no mixing? Oh, sick pizza. What? Just crust.
You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Anyway, no, it means making sure the audio hits where it's supposed to hit. The bass is generally forward, but that's not a hard fast rule. And the volume's right. Crushing riffs in drop C or drop D. Now, this is going to sound like a dig, and once again, it's not. I just don't really know music theory. You don't really need your chords to go together on this, or tuned. As long as it sounds good to you, it works. For the bass, you want something sick. Crust punk's also known for its urgent and intense sound, using heavy distortion to make an oppressive feel that's dirty sounding. It's a deliberate choice, reflecting the genre's raw, unrefined aesthetic. Bringing us to aesthetic. Lyrically? Political. Super political, to the point of satire. Why? Honestly, kinda dumb. So Eddie from Stranger Things is the most realistic metalhead depicted in fiction. Except maybe these guys.
Whoa. What is that sound?
It's a devil screaming. It's an angel singing. It is the pounding of creation's hammer upon the anvil of time.
It's fucking awesome.
Right down to his love of DoD. And that's kind of the problem. With all these rough, growling sounds, it also has the worship of Satan, epic battles, bikers. There's a certain amount of escapism to it. Ignoring that's not all metal.
But the best metal.
That's Saruman? Anyway, comes Scruffy Looty of Hell Bastard. Want to use the same delivery system as metal, but for their own viewpoint on the world. Mostly the view being fuck the government for increasing military spending while genocides are being committed. Or any other injustice you see around you. Some crust punk hallmarks are being anti-capitalism, environmental, anti-war, anti-fascism, and anarchistic philosophy. All roared and screamed into a mic like you're an angry, coked-out possum. The genre is synonymous with a bleak, nihilistic worldview, but action-oriented, aka no future. Apologies I get this wrong. Gillian Lego Killsby of Deviated Instinct describes Crust as a punky biker look, working to Mad Max. In his words, Mad Max 2 is the crustiest film ever made. Maybe Black and Chrome, that wasn't out yet. In terms of style, you can get away with just looking like a punk. Denim jacket and hoodie, sweater with sewed on patches, and vests covered in studs, spikes, and band patches are characteristic elements of the crust punk style, or pants covered in band patches. Or you could be a standard issue punk, and a panda did a fusion dance together. This also parlays into covers and propaganda, all very monochromatic. Key characteristic of the crust punk and most punk music is a rejection of mainstream culture and commercialism. This is reflected in the genre's DIY aesthetic, which includes handmade merch, self-recorded and produced albums, self-organized shows, and a general disinterest in being mainstream successes. Album art ranges from skulls, redacted people, skulls, human atrocities, and skulls. Where did crust punk start? To its core, Crust is a filthy, anarchistic metal punk band. Drenched in mud, blood, and grime from the filthiest punk squats, drawing from the bleak, post-industrial wastes of the British urban centers in the 1980s. Anti-Climax was the first band to combine punk and metal, paved way for many other bands. Their influence can be heard in the music of many bands that followed them, both in Sweden and worldwide. Despite disbanding, Anti-Climax music inspired a new generation of fans and musicians. It was originally called Stenchcore by the band Deviant Instinct in 1987's demo, making fun of anarcho peace punk's hygiene habits. But it was recoined Crust, then later evolved into crust punk by Hell Bastard on their 1986 Ripper Crust demo, though some would attribute that accolade to the likes of Disordered or Chaos UK. In the book Trapped in a Scene, Scruff of Hell Bastard was quoted saying, "A lot of people say we started the crust punk genre, but whatever. If you want to say that, I don't mind, but I'm certainly no Malcolm McLaren saying I invented something I didn't. Others say that I came from the gutter punks and their own general crustiness, but anarcho peace punk bands and metal bands are pretty crusty, especially when they're on tour, so chicken and egg." 80s was a hell of a decade. Real life crust punks. Say it with me, punks. If you rep the merch, listen to music, or make the music, you are a crust punk. My recommendations. Before we begin, can we all have a moment to pray to the copy bots? Oh, great cosmic horror that all on YouTube fear. Be kind to this small channel, protected from your mighty wrath, as we use snippets of music to inform and gain new listeners to the sound, as is allowed under fair use. Amen. Okay, with that out of the way. Age of Censorship by fellow punk historians, Pagefire. Is the music vid a little shitposty? Yeah, that's just how Pagefire rolls, and I ain't gonna hold against them. If I wasn't a sarcastic bastard to my core, this show would be a little more shitposty. It also has some incredible licks. And speaks to Scruff's ethos in this time of censorship. Yeah, Gov ain't breaking down doors and confiscating sensitive material, but what you see is being carteled, even attempting to break up the lines of communication, while atrocities are still committed. On the not completely depressing note, the band has a pretty heavy Norwegian accent, and I do not hear it at all in this song. Not sure if that's my ears, a deliberate choice, or everything just sounds the same when you roar it, but I always find stuff like that fascinating. End of Days, Discharge. Not quite as complicated as the last one, just a song about the end of days, unless I'm missing something. I don't know nothing about music, I just know what I like. Speaking of which, the intro is fire.
If we are attacked by nuclear weapons, these are the warning sounds you must recognize. First, the attack warning. If an attack is expected, the sirens will sound a rising and falling note like this.
And it sounds like it should be played during a car chase. Tell me that doesn't work. Just listen to those DBs. If that doesn't get you up and moving, I don't know what would. Last one standing, Anti-Sect. It's a good song, it belongs on the list, but dude, honestly, consider getting a sandwich before listening. This one's honestly longer than it needs to be. I usually catch out about 5 or 6 minutes in, there's still like a minute left of the song. The middle drags a bit, but god damn, does that intro start off with a hit?
Yeah! By God, it's Piccolo! By God, King! He's here to save the day!
Best heel to face turn anime, ladies and gentlemen. That slowness might actually be intentional, as one of the lyrics is, I don't believe in a punk rock ghetto. Anti-Sect just does its own thing, and I respect that, as long as it's riffs like this. As for the lyrics, it's about the manipulation of media. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal for me. I literally didn't plan this. I honestly thought Hate Bomb by Discharge was going to take this spot, but this just sounds way crunchier. How do I feel about Crust Punk? While I'll never besmirch the fight a punk chooses to fight, I don't agree with Scruff. Fiction, escapism, is just as important as reality, as the best Father Christmas can explain.
Alright, I'm not stupid. You're saying that humans need fantasies to make life bearable?
No. Humans need fantasy to be human.
Rest well, Sir Terry. Some concepts seem too big, too unknowable horror for people to get when you just flat out explain it to them. Allegory exists for a reason. The message might be hidden under an epic battle of man against dragon, or roared at them with heavy D beat. I love metal. One of the 2 best concerts I've ever attended was a Metallica concert. To be honest, if not for this show, I likely would never seek out Crust, since my palate gravitates closer to speed metal, and at the time of this recording, Japanese metal. But I would say it's definitely a gem. If any of this sounds good to you, I encourage you to seek this out. This has been What's Up Punk. Sorry we haven't been doing speculative fiction for a while. Wasn't intentional, just the randomizer is not kind. But as penance, next time we're doing one that's been on the list for a while. Been requested since the beginning of the show. Going back to the solar punk spectrum as a bad moon rises. Covering lunar punk. Till next time. Keep on being a no good, dirty punk. You know it, you love it, here's the spiel, let's do it. You subscribe to be my subscriber. Hit the bell so you know when I've actually posted stuff. Still no idea why those 2 things are separate now, but whatever. And of course, hit like to appease algorithm gods. All fear and praise. On a list of whatever YouTubes, I am also probably not going to get any ad revenue for these videos, so if you would be so kind, check out that Patreon and the GoFundMe. Links in the description.